So for page 249, we're looking at a pair of lines, a pair of equations, and deciding what the relationship is between both of those lines. We're deciding whether they are parallel lines, whether the relationship is perpendicular lines, or neither, just based on the slopes. We are just comparing the slopes. So we will need to put that into the y equals mx plus b form and then identify the slope for each equation and compare them to decide. You can go back to slide number 92 to look at some examples. So isolate the variable, subtracting x from both sides. I'm going to switch up the order here. And then my slope here is the coefficient of x, which means the slope is -1. If there is no coefficient there, it's an assumed 1. Subtract x from both sides. And again, I have that slope of -1 here and here, which means the lines are parallel. They have the same steepness. They run side by side. They will never make contact with one another. Same distance apart. Since I have a negative y here, it's important that I cancel out that negative symbol. I can do that by dividing both sides by -1. Which means my slope here, the coefficient of x, is 3. Divide both sides by 3. We assume that there is a -1 in front of this x. So that's -1/3 x plus, and a 9 divided by 3 is 3. Remember, when I get to this point, I'm going to divide each one of these terms by 3. So -1x divided by 3, and then 9 divided by 3 also. I'm pulling apart those terms. So then here the coefficient of x, which is our slope, is -1/3. Okay, which means these two lines are perpendicular to one another. They intersect at a 90-degree angle. And remember, you can go back to slide number 92 to see some samples of what it looks like to be perpendicular. Isolate y. Divide both sides by -1 to cancel out that negative symbol. I'm pulling apart these two terms, so -2x divided by -1, and also +5 divided by -1. I have a slope of positive 2 here. And here my slope is negative 2. Okay. These are neither parallel nor perpendicular. Negative 3x divided by negative 7, and then a positive 35 divided by negative 7. So since negative 3 cannot be evenly divided by negative 7, I'm just going to leave it as a fraction, but they're both negative, so I'll have to simplify that to just 3/7. My slope here is 3/7. Divide both sides by negative 3. My slope here is 7/3, which means that the relationship is again neither. In order for this to be perpendicular to this, one of these would need to be negative, and they're both positive. Again, you can take a look back at slide number 92 to see some examples.